Have you ever found yourself wondering, really wondering, what it would be like to live a life where abundance and success aren't just, well, far off dreams, but your actual daily reality?
Mm,
Today, we're taking a deep dive into something pretty revolutionary, the inherent power of your own brain.
yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
Our mission, really, for you, is to explore how this cutting-edge neuroscience isn't just, an interesting theory, but maybe your most powerful ally.
Absolutely.
Your ally in unlocking your full potential and consciously building the extraordinary life you actually desire.
And we're aiming to go beyond just the surface level ideas you might heard flying around.
Right.
This deep dive, it's really about revealing practical strategies, powerful exercises grounded in neurology to effectively, reprogram your mind for sustained success.
Reprogram your mind, that sounds huge.
It is. And the most exciting part, I think, is truly understanding how these tools, which are, believe it or not, already within you, can be activated, how you can use them to create lasting change.
Okay, tangible transformation. I like the sound of that. So let's really unpack this then. What exactly is this amazing thing called neuroplasticity?
Ah,
And what does it fundamentally mean for us? Because it really sounds like the bedrock, beneath everything we're about to talk about.
it pretty much is. So neuroplasticity,
Hmm.
we all kind of understand it on some
Yeah.
level, right? It's that incredible capacity our brain has to reorganize itself,
Okay.
constantly forging, refining neural pathways
Yeah.
based on our experiences, our thoughts, our actions.
Right.
But what's truly revolutionary is realizing we can consciously direct this process. It's not just happening to us.
Okay, so we're in the driver's seat.
Exactly. Every thought isn't just like a fleeting impulse. Think of it more like a microscopic sculpting tool for your brain's architecture.
Oh.
And consider this. Studies have actually shown that consistent mental training, things like meditation or focused learning, can lead to measurable structural changes.
Measurable. Like you can see it.
Yeah, shifts in gray matter density, for instance. Sometimes in as little as 8 weeks. That's not just some vague idea. It's direct evidence of how profoundly malleable our brain is.
8 weeks. That's surprisingly fast.
It can be. So for someone who's maybe felt stuck for years, this means you are absolutely not limited by your current beliefs or your past experiences.
Yeah.
You have this inherent capability
Okay.
to reconfigure your brain, to literally build pathways that embrace abundance and success.
So those limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns we all seem to carry around, it's just old roads in the brain.
That's a great way to put it. They're essentially established, well-worn neural highways. But the powerful truth, the good news, is that with intentional strategies, we can start to weaken those old, unserving connections
Okay.
and actively strengthen new, positive pathways that serve your highest potential. It's really about consciously engaging in,
Yeah.
well, it's sometimes called metacognition.
Thinking about your thinking.
Exactly. Using that awareness to guide this whole rewiring process.
That's a staggering thought that our brains aren't just fixed hardware. But for someone who feels really stuck, trapped by old patterns, how tangible is this reconfiguration?
Right.
Can it genuinely feel like a profound internal shift, not just subtle changes?
Oh, absolutely. It can feel profound,
Yeah.
but it often starts subtly.
And okay, if we're going to reprogram our minds, like you said, we first have to figure out what's actually holding us back, right?
Precisely. Step 1.
What are these limiting beliefs we hear so much about? Sometimes they feel almost invisible, don't they? Like quiet background noise.
They absolutely can feel invisible, and that's their power, really. Their insidious nature. They often operate like this quiet, automatic programming deep in our subconscious.
Who do they come from?
Well, they can be formed from past experiences,
Yeah.
things we learned in childhood, maybe narratives we picked up, or even, inherited societal conditioning about what's possible. And limiting beliefs aren't just fleeting negative thoughts. They're more like entrenched neural patterns that actively filter how we see reality. They can subtly convince us we're unworthy or incapable.
Even when the evidence says otherwise.
Exactly, even when there's clear evidence contradicting them. Think about a successful business owner who still secretly worries about losing it all, despite years of success. Or maybe a brilliant artist who just can't shake the feeling their work isn't good enough no matter how much praise they get.
Yeah, I can see that.
Those are often the fingerprints of these deeply wired limiting beliefs.
Mm.
Basically negative self-talk or assumptions we repeat, often unconsciously, about our skills, about money, success, our own worth.
So how do we start tackling them? How do we make the invisible visible?
Good question. So the first step is that visibility. We recommend a practical, maybe twofold method. First, just take a moment, reflect, maybe even journal about it,
Okay.
and try to pinpoint at least 3 beliefs you feel might be holding you back right now, especially around success and abundance. Get them out there.
Just write them down.
Write them down, or just articulate them clearly in your mind. Once you have them, for each belief, you need to critically examine it, like a detective.
Okay.
Ask yourself, is this absolutely 100% true, unequivocally?
Hmm.
Then what concrete, verifiable evidence do I actually have to support this belief?
Hmm.
And then crucially, flip it. What evidence actively contradicts it? Maybe past successes you're forgetting, or someone you know who overcame something similar.
Right. Looking for counter evidence.
Exactly. And finally, maybe the most important part. How does believing this actually make me feel? Does it empower me? Or does it just drain my energy and motivation?
That feeling part seems key.
It is. The goal here isn't necessarily to instantly erase them. That's usually not realistic.
Okay.
It's more about shining a bright light on how questionable they might be. To begin dismantling these mental barriers, showing your brain, hey, maybe these truths aren't so solid after all.
So you're disrupting the pattern.
Precisely. That critical analysis starts to weaken those old neural pathways.
That shift in perspective alone feels powerful. And, okay, once we've gently shaken the foundations of those old truths, like you said, there's this space that opens up, right? It feels like clearing out old furniture, making room for something new and hopefully more vibrant. How do we start bringing in that new, empowering mental decor?
Here.
Especially if those old pathways are so deep.
Yeah, great question. Because you need to fill that space intentionally. And that's where powerful positive affirmations come into play.
Ah, affirmations. We hear a lot about those.
We do, and used correctly, they're very effective.
Yeah.
Once you've identified and started challenging those limiting beliefs, the next step is to consciously choose new declarations, new beliefs you want to install.
Okay.
Affirmations are essentially these carefully crafted positive statements that you repeat consistently. The goal is to actively create and strengthen new, empowering neural connections that support the reality you want.
So give me an example. If the old belief was, I'm not good enough.
Right. You transform it into something direct and positive, like, I am capable and I deserve success. Or if it was, say, money is hard to get, you pivot to, money flows to me easily and abundantly through channels known and unknown.
I like that known and unknown part.
Yeah. And for something like, I don't deserve to be rich, the affirmation could become, I am worthy of a full and prosperous life, and I welcome abundance.
Okay, so it's about flipping the script, but what makes them actually work? Just saying the words.
No, it's more than just lip service. There are key elements. First, consistency is huge.
Right. Daily repetition.
Daily, even multiple times a day if you can.
Yeah.
Repetition is basically how the brain learns habits, how it strengthens pathways.
Makes sense.
Second, and maybe the most crucial part, is emotion. You need to feel the affirmation.
Feel it how?
Try to connect to the feeling of it already being true, even if it's just for a moment while you're saying it.
Yeah.
That emotional charge, it helps tag those new neural pathways as important, relevant, helps them stick.
So repetition plus feeling.
Exactly. When you combine consistent repetition with genuine positive emotion, you're basically signaling to your brain's filtering system, the reticular activating system, what to focus on.
Ah.
It starts to notice opportunities, information, evidence that aligns with your new beliefs. It helps create this sort of positive feedback loop, almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy for success.
So it's not just the words, definitely not just the words, but the feeling we infuse into them. Okay. Now, beyond words and feeling, is there a way to really see our success, to make it feel, I don't know, more tangible to our brains, like a rehearsal? Because sometimes just imagining things can feel a bit, well, like passive daydreaming. How do we make sure it's an active tool for neurological change, not just wishful thinking?
That's a really critical distinction you're making, and yes, there is. The powerful tool of visualization, when done right, isn't passive daydreaming at all. It actively leverages neuroplasticity in a really profound way. When you create vivid, detailed mental images of your goals, of the abundant life you desire, you're essentially preparing your brain for that reality.
How does that work neurologically?
Well, the fascinating thing is, this process can activate the same brain regions that would be active if you were actually doing the thing or experiencing the event.
Really?
Yeah. We see this clearly with athletes doing mental rehearsal. Imagining the perfect dive, the perfect free throw.
Sure.
That mental practice can actually improve their physical performance because the brain is literally practicing the movements, forming and strengthening those motor pathways.
Wow.
So visualization is like creating a mental blueprint. It helps your brain recognize and then seize opportunities that match those images when they appear in your life.
So how do we do it effectively? Not just daydreaming, but effective visualization.
Okay, so the key is richness and sensory detail. Find a quiet space, maybe close your eyes, and don't just think about your ideal life with abundance and success. Try to experience it.
Experience it.
How? Engage all your senses. How do you feel emotionally in this ideal life? Joyful, peaceful, confident. Where are you physically? What specific actions are you taking? What specific details do you see? Notice the colors, the textures around you. What sounds do you hear? Conversations, maybe music, nature. Are there any scents?
Right, make it real.
Exactly. And really anchor into the feeling, the emotion of it already happening. The joy, the gratitude, the satisfaction. The more real and multisensory you make it, the more your brain starts to treat it as a potential reality, not just a fantasy.
It shifts from just being a concept to becoming like a neurological template.
You got it. That's the perfect way to describe it. A template for reality.
That's a fantastic distinction. Active neurological practice versus passive fantasy. Okay, this all sounds incredibly powerful, engaging our minds, our emotions, our senses. But does it just happen in our minds? Or does it demand like actual action in the real world? Because sometimes it feels like a big leap from a powerful thought or visualization to a real tangible outcome.
That's a super important question. And yes, it's a vital connection for genuine transformation. Neural plasticity, remember, strengthens with experience, with reinforcement.
Okay, experience.
So while visualization and affirmations are incredibly powerful for rewiring your internal landscape, shifting your beliefs and focus, they absolutely must be paired with what we often call inspired action.
Inspired action. What does that mean exactly? Does it have to be huge leaps?
Not usually, no. Often, it's not about forcing yourself into these massive, overwhelming tasks. It's more about taking small, consistent, daily steps, even steps that seem insignificant at first.
Small steps.
Yeah, because these consistent actions, they reinforce the new neural pathways you're building. Every small step, every decision you make that aligns with your desired reality, it sends a powerful signal back to your brain.
What kind of signal?
A signal is, hey, this new belief, this new vision, it's valid, it's real, and we are actively moving towards it.
So it creates a feedback loop.
Exactly. A powerful feedback loop. The more you act, the more your brain believes. The more your brain believes, the more readily it guides you towards further inspired action. It's about overcoming that initial inertia, building momentum,
Okay.
and showing your brain that these new mental states aren't just internal fantasies, but tangible realities you're actively creating. And, beyond just action, there's another element that I think is absolutely fundamental, foundational, really, for rewiring the brain towards abundance.
What's that?
Cultivating genuine gratitude.
Gratitude. Okay, that comes up a lot too. Why is it so important neurologically?
Because when you consciously focus on what you already have, and you genuinely feel grateful for it, it's not just a nice feeling. It actively changes your brain chemistry.
That's so.
It activates key brain circuits linked to happiness, satisfaction, even generosity. You can trigger the release of neurochemicals like dopamine and oxytocin.
Feel-good chemicals.
Pretty much, yeah. They reinforce positive emotional states, create a sense of well-being. And this positive state naturally shifts your perspective. It makes you more open, more receptive to opportunities.
So it's not just about feeling good, it actually changes how you perceive things.
Exactly. It helps your prefrontal cortex, the decision-making, planning part of your brain, to see more possibilities rather than getting stuck focusing on scarcity or lack. It literally helps you notice the good stuff.
Wow. So how do we cultivate that consistently?
It can be really simple. A practice we highly recommend incorporating daily is just taking a moment, maybe first thing in the morning or right before bed, to write down or even just mentally list 3 distinct things you are genuinely grateful for.
Just 3 things.
Just 3. It could be anything. A warm cup of coffee, a kind word someone said, the roof over your head, even a challenge you learned from. The key is the genuine feeling of appreciation. This consistent practice is just. It's such a powerful way to shift your brain's default setting towards appreciation and abundance. It lays this really rich foundation for all the other work we've talked about.
It really seems like. Well, what's fascinating here is that abundance and success, they aren't some fixed destination you arrive at, right?
All.
It's much more like a continuous journey, a journey of personal growth, transformation. It's about consciously shaping our inner world, that neurological landscape, to actually transform our outer reality. It really does come back to activating this immense power that's already inside us.
Precisely. And if we kind of connect all these dots, stepping back to the bigger picture,
Yeah.
it really raises an important question, doesn't it?
Well, cheers.
Well, if you are actively, consciously wiring your brain for a fuller, more prosperous life,
Yeah.
through consistently applying these strategies we've discussed, identifying and challenging those old beliefs, using powerful affirmations with feeling, practicing vivid visualization, taking that inspired action, and cultivating deep gratitude.
Yeah.
What incredible possibilities might you then discover about your own inherent inner power? Possibilities you haven't even conceived of yet.
That's a powerful thought to end on.
Because the ability to transform your reality isn't just a nice idea, it's an inherent neurologically backed capacity we all possess. This deep dive today, it's really just scratching the surface of understanding and tapping into that profound power.
It really feels like it. There's so much potential there.
Absolutely. So we really encourage you, listening right now, take these insights, experiment with them in your own life. Be curious. Observe the shifts, small or large.
Yeah, give it a try. And hey, if you found this deep dive valuable today, we'd love it if you'd consider subscribing, maybe leave a like, or share this with others who you think might benefit from, unlocking their own potential too.
Definitely. The more people understand this, the better.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring that incredible landscape of your own mind.